All right, so we are in the 2024 Tour Championship, and we've got this new, what is it? What is the name of this course? It's East Lake something. East Lake, 18, our second 18-hole golf course. No, that's not it. Hold on.
It's time to go again.
Yeah, it's time to go again. Where are we? What is it? What is this? It is the, where does it say it here? East Lake Golf Club. All right. All right. And I am like way late. I thought I'd have time this weekend to practice, but I'm still on the road. I'll be back home next week, so maybe we can be back on our normal track. There's all kinds of stuff going on in the game, and I'm on the road, and I don't have my leisure time to play. I'm doing stuff here. So here we go. All right. I have not even been out there yet, so no. Look at this. What a slacker. No scouting report, no nothing. All right, hole number 1. I'm not sure where the tee boxes are at. I'm not sure if these areas are the tee boxes or what the deal is. But if this is the Ricky tee box, we will have a little bit of a, we'll have to see. We'll see. We'll just go play it and see. We will. What am I going to do here? I'm going to take, let's have a couple bags set up. The big topper bag. I don't have any of my club notes with me, so I have to do this all from memory. I got a good assortment here. I do have one with a Hornet. And I'm going to start off with a Titan. We'll see what the King of Balls can get done. The King of Balls. That's right. You heard it here. This tournament's sponsored by Titan. The King of Balls. All right, hole number 1. I'm going to go out there and play it. I'm not going to be too concerned whether I qualify or not, because I don't know. I'm just going to go play. I have no idea. So I'm going to take all the shots to the cup. We're just going to be at club. I'm not going to do any adjustments. I'm not going to do anything, and we'll see if it pushes me off course. We're just going to do whatever the club is, and that's it. So the first one's the win divided by 1.2. I go first. Oh, I guess there are tee boxes back here, and they aren't those spots that I thought. Those were the ones for the other course. What can we get done here? This would be a great hole for a big tapa. Big tapa. You could probably, well, they have those signs out there. You could probably try and get through those signs. I'm just going to tap it straight down the fairway, and let's see what we can get done. Just going straight, what kind of shot it gets before we start to get too jiggy with it and start to do something crazy. 266, so there's 2.7. Hitting it perfect. Perfecto. Short little chip. I think you could probably, I'm not sure how much those signs are in play. These signs right down here, these little flags. But you could try and come around the corner, but I'm sure that those are in play to keep you from trying to do it. So if you had a topspin boost ball, you might be able to, we'll have to see. I'll have to hit it into one of those signs and see what the deal is. We'll see where we're at right here. That's probably, that's got to be short iron. I mean, it looks a little too far away to be wedge. That's definitely short iron. Where are we in short iron? There's min. There's max. So right here is mid. So if I wanted to get up here and do like a backspin shot on it, do I have to do a backspin shot? Man, that's a lot of, I'm going to do a backspin shot on it. Why not? It's 3.5 divided by 1.7. It's let's say 2.1 rings. And the short iron stuff is like right in my way. 2.1 rings. Hitting it perfect. Oh, I needed to pull it just a little bit more. Not much, but like plus 0.1. What would it have been if I did it to 10%? It was 2.05, 1.1 times. That would have been 2.26. So maybe a 10%. Maybe plus 0.2. Well, that'd have been 2.1. That was like 1.6. Round up. Let's see what 15% would have did. 3.6. That might have been a little too much. Maybe like plus 0.2 or plus 10%, one or the other. I think there's a way to get up there. In the hole. All right. All right. See if my opponent can get in. Let me go see if I can find my note sheet. Hold on one second. All right, I was successful and I found my note sheet. Let's see if I did my thorn right. It was 1.7 at max, and I did 1.7. All right. It should have been 1.7 plus 0.1. That probably would have got me a little closer, but I still don't think that would have been enough. I think it needs to be either like 10%, 12.5. All right, hole number 2. Hole number 2. What is hole number 2? The par 3. It looks to me like there might be a rough bump opportunity here from getting at it. You have to have a ball with some side spin to get you up there, but it does look like there is a rough bump opportunity. Let's take a Quasar just in case. The Quasar. We'll see what we need to do. We'll see. We got a due headwind here, so. Here we go. I go first. Man, this is a crappy area to do a rough bump. Yeah, I don't even know with a 3 side spin ball. Maybe if you got back into this area, you probably need a bigger ball. Grizzly. Four two. I'm going to do 4-2. I better hurry. And I hit it great. Checking it out. It should have been 0.9 per ring, but I didn't have time to plug it into my calculator, so well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I was at in my club, to be honest with you. It might have been 1 per ring. It's 1 per ring at mid. Let's look. Let's look at my cheat sheet here. It's 0.9 at max, and it's 1 per ring at mid, and it's 1.3 at min. What are they using? A power 10 ball. Man, I would forfeit this match and give you a hole-in-one to get that ball. Come on. Really? Really? You're going to use a power 10 ball on a par 3? Come on. Come on. I had an opportunity. I played a couple one-on-ones the other day just to see if I could get some chess going. And was playing against somebody, and we were on a big par 5. It was on one of the Jamal Dunes in Tour 7. And they brought out a 0 power precision ball and was short of where they wanted to be, and they were max overpower and ended up in the rough. Couldn't get on. It's like, dude, you could have played that with a freaking Quasar or a Nav and would have had a better shot. I mean, heck, if you were going to do it, why bring out a 0 power ball on a par 5? There are sometimes when that might work out where you can put yourself in the right spot. Now you got the right ball for that spot. It's got the side spin, it's got precision, it's got all the stuff, but you got to get to that spot. Hole number 3. It's a par 4. Par 4. Hole number 3. What's it look like? I got that nice little sand trap right there in our way. We'll have to see if we can get up. Let's take what I need to do here real quick. There's some of these holes I might be able to just play with that extra mile. I'm gonna put one in this bag. We'll put an extra mile in here, and we'll put a sniper, grizzly thorn, the rest of that stuff. Let's see what we can get done with just an extra mile. And a Titan. We'll switch it up. The Titan. Dun 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 dun. Here we go. Maybe we can get out there. Man, I shot a video. It was a very short video, and I did one run through, just that beginner run through in the Road to Fame. I see a lot of games, like I play some card games, and I play a word game, like a vocabulary game, that have like the daily stuff. Let's see, if we really try and go for that, that is grim. That is grim. Where am I at? There's the +1 mark with an extra mile. 4 topspin. 3. Man, that doesn't give you much room. 3.9, that's about 2 rings. 2.1 per ring, so 2.1. I usually think of it as 2. Perfecto. We'll see if that's too much. Whoa down, Cat Daddy. Whoa. Whoa down. And I didn't switch balls to a Titan. Now let's see how far they can get up there. So you probably can. But really, you'd need to get that one bounce to be a rough bump. Man, with that much topspin, that's got to be off. Is that really? Is that really how? Yeah, see, yeah, there's where you want to clip that rough and just bump up onto the green. So you really want to make sure that, like, you get your wind adjustment right. No, you move the course. Come on, buddy. That was little less than 2.5. If they did it straight up at the 2.1 per ring, that'd have been a 2.23, 2.3. Let's see if they clip the rough. Right? Nope, they missed it. And this is like that last course that we played for the Open, where there's no apron. You're off the fringe, you're in the rough. There's Max. I'm at about mid-club. So it's 4.4 divided by 2.4. 1.83. 1.83 rings. I noticed when they did that update, it changed my graphic settings, and I had, I think a perfect would have been in right there. And I had it set on low because if you have it set on high, you get down there and it's like you can see the blades of grass and it disturbs you don't have a nice crisp line for the ring brakes. So if you're noticing that and you're wondering, you're like, this sucks, you can go into your graphics and change your graphic effects and put them on low, and it'll make it so they have nice, clean, crisp separations between your rings. I'm sure everybody knows that, but there might be one person out there, somebody out there that's like, oh, thank you. I kind of like what my opponent did. But that's definitely, shall we want to make sure we get the wind adjustment right. And it's so steep right there where they're hitting when you're coming over and you're getting up on the green. I mean, it's real steep in that area, so you're going to get a super irregular bounce. And trying to clip that little teeny G string of rough and not hit the fairway right there. I'll have to take that shot and see what the deal is. It might be worth bringing out a 5-power ball if you could work that shot out. Or excuse me, gotta get my vocabulary right. It's a 10-power ball. I think everybody's new enough that that whole system is new enough that everybody still understands. But a year or two from now, you see a 5-power ball, and everyone's like, "What do you mean? I thought you brought out a 10-power ball." All right, hole number 4. Hole number 4. What do we have? Is this a par 4? Yes, it is. Pretty straight up. This one we actually have an opportunity to get on. Let's take a Titan on this one. Let's take a Titan this time. Let's see what we can get her done. Get her done, 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 done. Houdini. I'm going to pull back a little. Pull back to the +6 mark. That way I've got a little bit of leeway on headwind days and see what that gives me with max topspin. 3.7. Once again, I'm going to do 2. That's 4. Perfect. And let's be real cognizant of how it comes through there. If I overpulled it, or that was a little bit of an overpull. So 3.7 divided by 2.1 would have been 176, and I did the full 2, which is 4.2. That quarter of a ring put me right up against that rough, almost in the sand. Let's see what my opponent does here. What do they got? They got an APOC 6 that's 1.5 per ring. Did they even make a wind adjustment? If you got an APOC 6, you probably have an extra mile and it has more topspin. That, my friends, is out of bounds. OB. It's a long putt. Perfect. Yeah, I don't want to have to take that putt all the time. I want to get a little teeny bit closer than that. This is where if you have a bigger APOC, you can bring it out and you get that extra 4 yards of raw distance. Or you can bring out a slightly bigger ball so you can set it forward. I was at the +6 mark to leave myself room for headwind. But if you brought out a little bit, you could push it forward on tailwind and sidewind days up to like the +10, +12 mark. And then if you had a headwind day, you could just bring out a bigger ball and pull it back to that +10, +12 mark. I don't think it would take much. Maybe just like one more tick of topspin. Instead of the +6, pushing it up to like the +8 mark. Hole number 5. Hole number 5. What do we have in store for us for hole number 5? Another straightforward shot with the tight little mouth. All right. This is a max distance shot. We'll play at that same bag. Why not? It's easy to do the math with an extra mile. And Houdini again. Let's see if they get it right this time. Now this definitely looks like a topspin boost ball to get you up there. Get you right up. Maybe right at the red line, 3.6. 3.6 divided by 2.1 is 1.71 rings. There's 171. I'm going to push that wind back on. Not much, but a little. And a grate to the left just for good measure. That'll probably put me in trouble. That's a skirt right there. I do like the way that the transition there is there between the rough and the, because before you get in the rough and you were sunk, now you're kind of rolling out. I mean, it is a little bit smoother. That's another hole if you had an APOC that's got a little bit more raw distance. You could get that extra little bit to get up on the green. Although, if this is anything like the holes that we had in the Open, I'm not going to be too upset about being right on the fringe where I can chip it up, because it's so easy to roll off these greens. I don't like that at all. That is usually the sign of death. That is usually the sign that you need to get up close. Getting it perfect. When your ball guide starts appearing and disappearing like that, for me, at least in my game, most of the time when it's doing that, it ends up the short, wherever it was where it was showing it was short, that's where it ends up. Occasionally, if it was going like short, long, it'll go long, but usually it ends up being short. So if you find yourself in a spot like that where your ball guide's appearing and disappearing, usually your best bet is to put a little bit of backspin on and get right up next to the hole. You can get past whatever area that is. The deal when you do that is that if your ring set's right here and the hole's out here, and here's where you're hitting from, the closer you can get your ring set to you, the more accurate. I mean, your ring set's so small it can fit in the hole, but when you push it up here, then you really have to start to be cognizant that wind is going to play a factor. The wind was so low right there that it wasn't going to play much of a factor, but it will. It could. Hole number 6. What is hole number 6? What exciting stuff do we have here? All right, this has got to be a par 5. It is. I mean, I'm thinking we can probably get down into this area and we're still going to have this shot coming up. Maybe with the topspin boost ball, we might be able to get up into this. We'll have to see. It's hard to tell the distances on these by looking at the 2D pictures. And the 2D pictures don't get a lot of the roll. Like there's roll on the course where it's so if you're going straight down and if you start off in one direction, it's just going to feed you into the rough on either side. Or if there's bowls or there's mounds, or those 2D pictures look like it's pretty flat. It's like, oh, it's just pretty flat. But then you get on the course and it's like, wow, that's a hill. And it looks pretty flat. And there is a little bit of a hill up there by that. And this would be another one for a Power 5 ball with topspin boost. You could probably get up into this area and you might be able to get like right on the other side of that sand trap. Even with overpower, I'm going to just lay it up. Got to be cognizant of that hill. I'm going to do 1.5 rings. A little less than 1.5. Isn't it perfect? Oh yeah. With a big Powerball, probably without even any topspin boost, a big Powerball and max overpower, you could, if you could get your bounces such that you could clear this sand trap, get a bounce here and go over the sand trap so you could stay on this line, you could get a pretty good run towards the mouth of that. If you had some big Powerballs with topspin boost, let's see, my opponent's going to do exactly what I'm talking about. That might not have hurt them as long as they can make... No, they're in trouble. Oh, that's nice. Nice. That works. That works. Okay, I'm going to be in long iron. No, I'm in short iron. Good. Goodly, goodly. Okay, there's Max. Where the hell is Min? There's Min. So I'm in Ekin mid here. This might be a thorn hole. No, I can get a hornet hole. It's mid club. It's 3.3 divided by 2.3. 1.43 rings. Oh, man, I thought I hit that perfect. No dice. Would have liked to have seen that perfect. That would have been close. What does a thorn have? Thorn's got like 60 topspin, somewhere around there, and a hornet's got 80. So there's some of those holes where you might not be able to reach it. I had enough room there. I could have did a backspin shot, but for me, I think that there is a time and place for the backspin shots. There's sometimes when like that's the only shot. That's why I put the thorn in my bag, because there's some of these newer holes, and not necessarily the par 3s, but some of the newer par 5s, like if you put yourself in the perfect spot, what you really want is a backspin club. Because the angle that you're coming at it, it's hard. You're so jacked up with other clubs that the thorn works good because it's got such great ball guide. But that's not its only trick. It has killer ball guide, so you can run it up to the hole. And it does rough bumps pretty good with the 60 topspin, but there are some of them that the 60 is not quite enough. So if you'd rather do the rough bump and you don't have enough topspin, you could switch to a club that's got a little bit more. But if you want to do the backspin shots are always great when they go in, but it's not always a given that it's going to go in. You've got so much spin on there that the ball can react and do weird stuff. Hole number 7. Is this hole number 7? Man, doesn't this just look like one of the other holes we played? It does to me. Here we go. Here we go. Maybe. Let's see if we can get our buddy again. Kentucky. If I can get an opponent. If. Robert. Operation Condor. Let's talk real quick about the road to fame. We've all seen it when you're in playing a game and you get an ad for another game and it shows you some stuff, But then when you actually, if you go, wow, that seems kind of cool, and then you go get the game, that has nothing to do with the game. The game doesn't do any of that. Well, my understanding is that they told them, hey, if you're going to advertise that, then your game actually has to have that. Because one of the games I have, I see ads for it occasionally, and it shows a game that it's not the game that you play once you get it. And on my phone, I started a brand new account. And for new people that are playing the game, that they actually have access to that. They're giving them some stuff that I didn't get when I first started playing. There's 1 1/3 is 2/6. And it almost feels like maybe like we may not be getting the ads for Golf Clash on what they're doing to try and entice new people to come into the game, but like they may be showing them stuff. And so in order to be compliant, they put that in there. Because if you've been playing the game for a while, I'm not sure what benefit. It does give them a new way to monetize it because you need stamina or you need to buy stuff in order to continue on the path. And you're using up balls. But I really don't want to play this game by myself. I like playing it against another person. All right. There's Max. So Max Club. This is once again one of those spots where the ball guide's appearing and disappearing. So I'm going to put a little bit of backspin and get right up to the hole. That's 2 rings. That's 1.4, 1.2 per ring. So I'm going to do 2 rings. That's just plus 0. We'll see if that goes in. Hitting it perfect. Woo! Woo! In the hole. Look at that. I really think, based off of where I was at, that with just a little bit bigger ball, even just a regular 5-power ball, or 10-power ball, excuse me, probably could have got right off the green. All right, hole number 8. Hole number 8. Let's look at that. Is that a par 4? That's got to be a par 4. It is a par 4. I think we can get right up on the green. Or once again, I'm not sure on this particular course whether I want to get on the green because it's too easy. You have no control when you get down here. So if you hit the green and it gets a slide or anything happens, it's your fault, my fault, nobody's fault. You're going to end up in the rough. And it's not a bad deal to have a short little chip. There's a certain spot, like if I was going to do a short little chip, I'd really want to be right in here. But when you start to get out here, or we're out here where I was at, where you've got a full shot, it's a little more difficult. This is the range when you're out here with your rapier, that the rapier is not like, I have a lot of friends that use an Embringer, and an Embringer has its strengths, and where its strengths are is when you're in that mid to max club. And I believe that the rapier is better when it's in the mid to minimum. All right. And I am not going to switch to a Embringer. Not that I have anything against the Embringer, it's just I'm not going to switch. All right, another big, long par 5. They weren't real creative, it seems like, when they made the real course here, if they patterned this after the real course. I'm going to take a Titan. I got that chose. Here we roll. Now, we haven't done too bad, and we haven't done any overpower. I'm sure that people are giving themselves better shots on these par 5s by getting jiggy with it, but I just want to go out and see what you can do if you just play it. I will say, if you're playing that new Road to Fame, the whole deal is don't go out there and try and do something crazy. This is definitely a fairway to green. Hit it in the fairway, get on the green. Because on those par 5s, they're giving you the full 5. You got to hit it in par. I mean, come on, even with really crappy clubs. It looked to me like I didn't look at all of the clubs, so I can't say for sure, but I didn't look at all of them, but it looked like they were like 10 accurate, 20 accurate. I'm not sure if any of them were better than that. So a 0 accurate club is 3. So if it's 10 accurate, it's 2.8. Well, they were up there. Man, this looks just like one of those holes on that other course. These holes all start to look, I mean, they really do kind of look alike. And you want to hit that perfect. 4.5 divided by 2.1. Let's see if just a normal wind adjustment. It's 2.14 rings. Let's see if we can hit this perfect. Hitting it dead center perfect. Now, if I end up off, we'll know that I either needed to pull more or I pulled too much. Wow, look at how far off that went. And that took that skip. I got lucky it came out, but that was definitely an overpull. See if my opponent can recover. Almost. Nice looking ball. I don't know what it does, but it is a nice looking ball. All right, where am I? And there's max. There's mid. Mid's not going to cut it, so I'm going to be at max club. Couple backspin. 1.5. .1 divided by 1.2. 2.58 rings. There's 258. Exactly. Oh, I glanced up at the last second and shot myself in the foot. It's like playing real golf and I didn't keep my head down. Put the ball to draw. In the hole. Birdie. I have no idea what people have been shooting this week, but it seems like it might not be too bad. There's a lot of opportunities, like that hole right there. I mean, there's a bunch of opportunities to make some of these. That's a par 5 or a par 4 right there. You could definitely get an eagle on, for sure. Okay, we're ending with a par 3, and there might be a rough bump on either side here. I'm going to take a katana just so that I have access to some side spin right off the bat, and we'll see. I have no idea what club I'm in, but we will check it out. With this wind, if there was a rough bump on either side, on this wind, it would be better to do the rough bump on the right, so you could pull over the fairway instead of having to pull over the sand. If you did the rough bump on the left, you'd end up pulling over the sand. It looked like the pin was kind of dead center, but the pitcher doesn't always do the actual course justice. Yeah, it looks like it's dead center. Yeah, it looks like it's a little closer to this side. Do I have enough side spin to get me over there? Man, that 4 side spin ball would really be nice right here. Look at how freaking close that is. That's so close it's hurting it hurts. .9 per ring, so it's 3.7 divided by 0.9 would be 411. Okay, there's 2, 4, 11. Yeah. If I was going to hit it great one way or the other, that way definitely works better than the other one. Because the other way was definitely, and I would have been short. Well, maybe I would have been short. A 4 side spin ball would definitely be nice there. And a 2 power 4 side spin, you might be able to do it with a 1 power. I did have a little bit of room in front of me. But a 4 side spin ball, I would have been able to get myself more. I wouldn't have been riding right up against the edge on that rough. See if my opponent can just shoot her straight in. Shoot her. Well, at least you hit yours. Into hole. All right. That hole right there, we got. I like doing the rough bumps on these par 3s. That's not my. I don't like being that close to the rough, and I typically don't like T rough bump or I rough bumps. I'd rather have a T rough bump so that you've got a little bit of room side to side. On headwind and tailwind days, the T rough bumps are dangerous because you could overpull or underpull it and end up in a problem. But the ones that are the I rough bumps, usually it's I because we have sand on one side. You hit it great to the left or the right and you're in trouble. And if you didn't make a wrong pull, you're in trouble. So those typically aren't my cup of tea, but that area right there, if you had a 4 side spin ball, I would have had a lot more room for maneuver. There you have it. I'm not exactly sure what we should be shooting here. Let's think. Let's go look real quick. What should we be shooting? We should be picking up 1 on that par 3, 1 on that par 4. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you didn't pick up anything, the par here is 10. I mean, because you really need to get a birdie on a par 4 and a birdie on a par 3 and an eagle on a par 5 in order to shoot just like golf clash minimum. So we should be shooting a 10. So I picked up 3 on the front. So plus 3 on the front. That's not bad. I have no idea. Let's go look at the top and see what people have shot. We're at 17 and they're at 26. And what's hole number 18? It's probably a par 5. Let's go look. Tournaments. Let's see what hole number 18 is. Well, it doesn't matter. They're going to make me look at them. A par 6. Wow, that's the first of those that we've ever seen. I mean, I can't believe that people aren't going to be getting a lot of Albies on that. Wow. Wow. A par 6. I'm going to have to, that'll be interesting to see what people are, like if this is going to be the number 1 Albie shot in the game or if this is going to be super freaking tough to get on. Because you're definitely going to have a problem trying to get past this area. Even trying to get into this neck is going to be a problem, so you're laying up. I suppose you want to try and get over into this area so that it opens up this peninsula right here so that you have this shot coming up to it so you can get the chip on. Or you're going to have to be hitting up into this area if you were over in this spot. That'll be interesting when we get to that hole to see what the deal is, but So I have no idea what the minimum is going to be on that. Like the minimum score might have to be an Albie. We'll have to see. We'll see. All right. There you have it. That was the front nine of the Tour Championship, the 2024 Tour Championship on the brand new 18-hole course that we have. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm going to immediately start playing the back so I can try and get it all done today. I don't know that I'll have time in the next 2 days to play. So if I don't get it done today, I just won't get it done. There you have it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. Sorry I haven't been shooting a lot. I've just been on the road, and I'll be back home next week, and then I'll be back to my normal, trying to play every day and do the stuff. I appreciate everybody's patience over the last 6 weeks, and we'll be back soon. Thanks for watching. Maybe.